Lesson 1. I learned a lot from Page 2. Conversation. A. Listen. What happened to Louis recently? What happened to Kristen?
Hi, Louis. I hear you've made a big change recently.
Yeah, I have. I just got a job as a photographer.
Oh, wow. How did you get into photography?
I had the opportunity to work with a photographer friend of mine. I learned a lot from working with him. I also learned that I wanted to be a professional photographer.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thanks. Oh, that reminds me. Anna tells me that you just moved.
Yes, I did. I had a setback last month when I lost my job, but it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. I just got a much better job, and I moved to Sao Paulo.
I'm sorry to hear about your setback, but so glad to hear about your new job.
Page 3. Listening. A and B.
Hi, Clara. I hear you made a change recently.
Oh, hi, Alex. Yeah, I did. I took a risk and made the decision to go back to school.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, Clara. What are you studying?
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I think you'd be a wonderful teacher, Clara.
Thanks, Alex. I think it's the best decision I've ever made. So how about you? What have you been up to?
Me? Well, I faced a challenge last year and I lost my job. Half of the employees at my company got laid off.
Oh, no. That's a shame. You're in sales, right?
Yes, that's right. Being unemployed for a year was one of the biggest challenges I've ever faced. But I had a great opportunity last week. I ran into an old friend, and he offered me a job at his company. I start on Monday.
That's great. Congratulations. Hey, Victor. How are you?
Hi, Larissa. I'm doing well, thanks.
I'm surprised to see you at a bakery in the middle of the afternoon. You're usually at the office in the afternoons, aren't you?
Well, I decided to take a risk and start my own business.
Oh, wow. That's really brave of you.
It was scary, but starting my own business is one of the most exciting things I've ever done.
What is your new business?
This bakery. We just opened 2 weeks ago.
Really? Congratulations. It's a really nice place.
Thanks, Larissa. I'm really happy with how it's going.
How did you decide to open a bakery?
Well, I got into baking a couple of years ago, just for fun, but I ended up really enjoying it. Then, a few months ago, I decided it was time for me to make a change. Oh, that reminds me. I hear that you just made a change, too.
Yes, I did. I got married last month.
That's great. Congratulations. Let's have a piece of cake to celebrate.
Thanks. I'd love to.
Lesson 2. Did you hear about Page 4. Conversation. A. Listen. How did the man fall onto the subway track? What did he do after he woke up?
Hey, did you hear about the man who fell onto a subway track last week?
No. How did that happen?
He was texting a friend and he wasn't watching where he was going. He fell, hit his head, and passed out.
No way. What happened next?
Luckily, someone witnessed the whole thing. He jumped onto the track and pulled the guy out.
Wow. Did the guy injure himself in the fall?
Not really. The guy woke up after a few minutes and he was fine. He got up and finished typing his text message.
Page 4. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
Hey, did you hear about the man who fell onto a subway track last week?
No. How did that happen?
He was texting a friend and he wasn't watching where he was going. He fell, hit his head, and passed out. He was just lying there and a train was coming.
No way. What happened next?
Luckily, Someone witnessed the whole thing. He jumped onto the track and pulled the guy out. Someone else called the emergency services.
Wow! Did the guy injure himself in the fall? People really shouldn't text while they're walking.
Not really. The guy woke up after a few minutes and he was fine. He got up and finished typing his text message.
Page 5. Pronunciation. A. Listen to these phrases. Notice that any word that begins with a vowel inside a phrase links with the word before it. 1.
Heard about.
2.
To a friend.
3.
The story I heard.
4.
Passes out.
Lesson 3. I can't stand it when... Page 6. Conversation. A. Listen. Why is Marco annoyed? What are other things that annoy Jenny and Marco?
Hi, Jenny. I'm so annoyed.
What's wrong, Marco?
I was just at the movies, and there was a guy there who talked through the whole thing. I can't stand it when people talk during a movie.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It gets on my nerves when people are rude like that. But it really gets me when people text during a movie.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what else bugs me? I hate it when people chew their popcorn really loudly.
Me too. Oh, and it bugs me when people leave their popcorn and sodas on the floor after the movie instead of throwing them away.
Oh, same here.
Maybe we should just start watching movies at home from now on.
Page 7. Listening. A and B. Number 1.
I was just at the grocery store waiting in line, and the woman next to me just kept looking at me. It gets on my nerves when people stare at me.
That's so weird. I wonder why she was staring at you.
I have no idea. It was making me nervous. I kept thinking I had food on my face.
Number 2.
I'm getting so frustrated at work. One of my co-workers interrupts me when I'm talking. She does it all the time, especially in meetings. I can't stand it when people interrupt.
I can't either. That's so rude. Can you talk to her about it?
I have talked to her about it, but she says that she doesn't realize she's doing it. I don't know what to do.
The next time she interrupts you, just say, I wasn't finished speaking.
I'll try that next time. I hope it works.
Number 3.
We've been sitting here for 30 minutes waiting to try on these shoes, and no one is offering to help us. It drives me crazy when salespeople ignore me.
I could go ask one of them to help us.
No, let's see if they notice us. I would understand it if they were busy, but we're the only people in the store. And they're just chatting. One of them is on the phone with his friend.
I'm going to go over there and ask for help.
Good luck.
Number 4.
How did your date go? It was awful. My date was texting someone the whole time. I hate it when people text while I'm talking to them.
I do too. It's so rude. Do you know who he was texting?
I think he was texting his boss. I understand that his job is important, but it was ridiculous.
How did the date end?
He actually asked me if I wanted to have dinner next week.
Lesson 4. You put up with a lot. Page 8. Conversation. A. Listen. Why isn't Pablo with Ingrid and Robert? What is Robert going to do?
Hi, Robert. Where's Pablo? I thought he was hanging out with us tonight.
Hi, Ingrid. He cancelled at the last minute.
Again? You put up with a lot from him.
Yeah, he keeps doing it. I'm starting to resent him for it.
Have you tried confronting him about it?
Do you really think that's a good idea? I don't want to be pushy and have an awkward conversation.
If you don't feel comfortable talking to him, you might want to consider texting him about it.
That's not a bad idea. I'll give it a try.
Great. Let me know how it turns out.
Page 8. Conversation. C. Listen. Write the 3 extra sentences you hear in the conversation. Practice the new conversation.
Hi, Robert. Where's Pablo? I thought he was hanging out with us tonight.
Hi, Ingrid. He cancelled at the last minute.
Again? You put up with a lot from him. He did this last time.
Yeah, he keeps doing it. I'm starting to resent him for it.
Have you tried confronting him about it? You should talk to him.
Do you really think that's a good idea? I don't want to be pushy and have an awkward conversation.
If you don't feel comfortable talking to him, you might want to consider texting him about it, and you can think about what you're going to write.
That's not a bad idea. I'll give it a try.
Great. Let me know how it turns out.
Page 9. Pronunciation. A. Listen. Notice the way have you is reduced in these sentences to sound like have ya. 1.
Have you thought about asking her?
2.
Have you tried confronting him about it?
3.
Have you considered texting him?